Greetings and salutations, YouTubers. This is ZillaFan85, and I, of course, represent YouTube's bargain basement of the airwaves. I'm back today with my latest video, my latest figure review. Today we're going to go ahead and take a look at my Bandai Movie Monster Series 1955 Anguirus figure. So awesome. Definitely was looking forward to this, kind of picking up where we left off, because my last figure review, I reviewed the 1955 Godzilla. So, of course, both of these kaiju were featured in the 1955 film, Godzilla Raids Again. I happen to really like that film. I know it's at the very least mixed or not very well received by a lot of fans, but like I said, I've always loved this film. And of course, Anguirus, one of my favorite kaiju of all time. And obviously this his debut film appearance, and he was Godzilla's inaugural, first opponent that he ever faced. So really cool as far as all that goes, and the backstory of all that. And this original Anguirus design happens to be probably my favorite Anguirus design, honestly. I do love the the 60s and 70s design that was used later on in the Showa era, but just something about this original 1955 Anguirus that just really pops and hits it on all cylinders for me. So I think Bandai did really a fantastic job with this figure, and so let's go ahead and jump on into it here. So we're going to start with the tag that he came with, and we'll go ahead and take a little look-see. You got a very nice money shot of Anguirus there. I believe that's in Osaka when he was squaring off against Godzilla in the film. Of course, you got the Japanese lettering for Anguirus, 1955, and then, of course, in English below that. And then the 2023 trademark information when this figure was released. Some more Japanese information there. And then on the inside, you got legal jargon, mostly in Japanese. You got a nice little silhouette there of Anguirus. Of course, the Japanese and English. Some more legal information on the inside, and what have you. And, of course, the Godzilla trademark logo. And on the back, you got your Bandai Namco. Some more lettering in Japanese. Might be, yeah, I think this might, not sure what that's depicting. I don't know if that's depicting Godzilla Raids Again or not, because it looks different than Anguirus' logoing, but got that there. And of course this representing Bandai, the Movie Monster Series. That might be Bandai, and that's, of course, Movie Monster Series. They see you got that in English there as well. There's some trademark information and the Bandai logo there. Another look on the inside. And then a nice little showcase for you guys at the front again. So go ahead and set the tag to the side. And we'll go ahead and take a look at the figure itself. So with the paint and the detail work, very nice. So he's done in mostly this sort of gray paint scheme here, like this smoky gray that you've got for the main coloration of his body. Now you've got more of this sort of off-white bone color that he's got for his horns, the crests that he's got on the top of his head here. As you guys can see, a nice curvature to them, and they're fairly sharp to the touch. So really captures that look of Anguirus very well. Of course, you got the pronounced brow, the white eyes and black pupils there, as you guys can see. Hopefully the camera picks it up for you. And on the other side as well, you can see that. And of course, the horn on the top of his snout there, sort of angled back. But again, that sort of off-white bone colors, you guys can see that there. So it looks nice. And then, of course, again, more of that. So almost like a milky white bone color for the crest and the horn. And then this, I would say, is actually more of an off-white bone color for the teeth, though. So I actually kind of correct myself and see a little bit of variation. So this is a little bit whiter, a little more of like an ivory, or like an off-white, I guess I would say, for the bone color for the teeth. You can see they're all etched in. Now you do have the pronounced dragon teeth or fangs that he's got in the roof of the mouth there. Those look really, really nice. And of course, you got the deep red for the inside roof of the mouth, and of course for the tongue as well. Trying to showcase that as best as I can for you guys here. It's almost got a wet look to it, so really, really nice detail work there for that. Of course, you got all the bumps and grooves along his face there as well. Again, more of the grooves and lines on the top of his head. That looks really, really nice. And of course, as you go down to the neck, on the top part of the neck, you got where the scales sort of start. You guys can see the neck and the shoulder area. You guys can see that there. And of course, that carries around and down through the front legs here. All the scales that Anguirus has goes down into his front hands here. Claws, whatever you want to call them, paws. Front feet, I guess we would say. And you got some more of the grooves and line segments and whatnot, just to capture some detail work for the feet, the front feet here. Again, more of that milky white bone color for the toe claws here. Of course, all the lines and whatnot. The underside of the hand, or the underside of the front feet, I should say. Both sides there, as you guys can see. And of course, more of the scales done on the underside of the front legs. On the bottom part of the neck, some nice lines and grooves here that's done. So capturing a nice amount of detail work. I mean, you guys can take a look. You see the underside of his jaw as it carries down into the neck towards the chest and abdomen area. Some really, really nice detail work that's been etched in. And then, of course, as you go down into the chest and abdomen, you got more of the scales that sort of pick up where these grooves leave off here. So it sort of blends into that. Really, really nice. And you got the scales all around him there. Again, all done in that sort of gray, milky gray paint scheme. And then like a combo of the milky white and milky gray for the carapace, the spikes on the back here, as you guys can see there. Especially, you can see the contrasting on the outer spikes there on his back carapace here on both sides as it kind of goes around. And then a lot more of the gray that's done for the main spikes on the top part of the carapace. But you do have especially on like the tips, that milky white color, and then it sort of blends into the gray. So really, really nice, cool look for him. I like that a lot. And then of course, as you come down to the hind legs here, you got more of the scales that go down again, just like with the front legs. Again, goes down into the back feet here, the lines and grooves there, and again that milky white bone color for the toe claws there, just as with the front feet. So really kind of just gray on the bottom parts, but the top parts have the milky white. So these are somewhat smooth, but you can still see some detail work etched in there, some lines and whatnot. So, and then of course the scales that run along the tail, and really on both sides of the tail, so the top and bottom all around, you got all those scales there. Of course, you can see on this part here of the tail is where you got your trademark information. If I can get the camera to cooperate, let me see if I can see if it'll pick it up for you guys. Sort of focuses in for us here, folks. But you guys can sort of see where it showcases there, the trademark Toho Company Limited, and then of course Bandai China there, just to showcase for you guys the trademark information. Anyways, though, then you got different segments that you can see for the tail as it goes down, and of course you got some of the non-asymmetric, or I guess I should say asymmetric spikes that go along the tail, especially starting at like the midpoint of the tail and going down. And again, it's not symmetric, they're done like this asymmetric patterning. So very, very cool. Gives it more of like a natural kind of look. I really, really like that. You guys can see all the way down towards the tip here. And these are all mostly done in that grayish paint scheme, but very, very cool nonetheless. So another little look-see around Anguirus here. And I think that pretty much covers it for the paint and the detail work on him. Now, as far as articulation, Bandai vinyl, so pretty basic. There's nothing at the head or neck. There looks like maybe a glue seal, but, you know, I don't break those. So you got nothing there, but you do have movement in the front feet and the back feet here that they can swivel, rotate around, as you guys can see, and mostly not really hindered by the sculpt, so you can actually spin them pretty freely. So you can do a couple little different poses with those, and then the back feet here can also rotate. Now these might hit the front feet, so you kind of have to shift them out of the way, but you guys can see that you can rotate the back legs there. And if you position the front ones right, you can, like I said, you can get them to go all the way around, but they do want to rub a little bit against the front feet, so, you know, the front legs, so just kind of keep that in mind when you're rotating it. And then other than that, you've got rotation at the tail, where the base of the tail joins into the main body there. And you got that one point of articulation, but you can rotate it, and it spins pretty freely around. So as you guys can see, of course, you can rotate that all the way around if you so wish. So again, you know, so about 5 points of articulation, pretty basic standard fare for your Bandai vinyl figure here. Now, as far as sizing goes, well, we'll take a look first at his height measurement here, although that's not the mainstay that you're going to go for. But if you take a look, like the top of his nostril or top of the horn there, so you can see he stands just about 3.5 inches in height, which is basically the tallest point of his body. But if you're going to really look at him, you're going to probably want to look from the tip of the tail to the tip of the snout here. So as you guys can see, you're looking at, I would say, a little over 12 inches, probably about 12.5 inches in length there. So pretty decent length figure here. I mean, he's got a nice long tail, which I really, really like. So very, very well done there. As far as a size comparison goes, like I said I would do last time in the review, we're going to go ahead and compare him with his opponent in the film, and that, of course, is Godzilla. So, now these two were released, I believe, right about the same time, so as you guys can see, really, really a nice pairing. They go very, very well together here, as you guys can see. So these are meant to size in together. Again, both Bandai Movie Monster Series were released about the same time, and you know, so you can basically have a nice display with these two figures together. And like I said, I think they look really, really good. So there you go. That's what he looks like against the 1955 Godzilla, and that covers it for sizing. As far as pricing goes, you can still find him online. You can look on eBay, but I still have seen him on Amazon and some other places like that. I usually see this guy go for around $40 to $50, at least from what I've seen, 40 to 50 US dollars. It could be a little bit more, but it just kind of depends what the source is that you're using to try to get this figure from. Now, 50 is a little high, I would say, especially for like a Bandai vinyl figure. But if you can get him for 40 or even less, if you can find a better deal and get him for that, I would say definitely worth the pickup. Like I said, I think Bandai did an awesome job capturing the look of the 1955 Anguirus and really makes for a great addition to the collection if you guys are interested. So other than that though, folks, I think that about wraps it up for this video here. Stay tuned, got some other stuff planned, not just figure reviews, but some other things, some more video game playthroughs. So if you guys are interested in that, like I said, just stay tuned. But other than that though, folks, I would like to thank you guys so much for watching. If you would like to subscribe, please feel free to do so. If you would like to like and or comment on any of my videos, please feel free to do so as well. And just remember, until next time, ladies and gentlemen, you be good to yourselves, and sayonara.